All right, week 9, house call with Jerry and Terry, brought to you by our friends at DraftKings. NFL fans, what's your favorite touchdown? There's over 100 years of TDs to pick from. For me, it's the next one, because with DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL, every touchdown could bring you closer to cashing in. DraftKings Sportsbook delivers the unmatched intensity of the NFL right to your fingertips. From first touchdown scorer to anytime TD props or the thrill of live in-game betting, every snap is loaded with opportunity. Here's the best part. New customers bet $5, and if your bet wins, you'll get $300 in bonus bets instantly. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code HOUSE. All right, a little different guest in person. Julian Edlow, DraftKings Network betting analyst and host of the DKN Daily Bets podcast, which I've been lucky to be on. I think you've only had 2 Barstool people on.
Thank you for your service, Rico. Yeah, we've at least you and Mincy.
Yeah, elite
maybe
company.
We've had a couple more. I don't know. We'll grow the guest list, and we're always happy to have you back, Rico, on DKN Daily Bets.
Have Jerry on with some of his with.
Is it in New York? It's in New York.
No, it's remote. Anytime.
Oh, that's cool.
Zoom,
that's cool. Yeah, I'd love to join.
15, 20 minutes Mondays through Fridays.
We do touchdown scores here, as you're, obviously familiar with. What is your kind of strategy? Or you have a lot of the splits and the different actions. Like, so Julian, the first, when a guy hits, Jerry, that London game, Denver Jets, I think the guy's name was Adkins. He was 60-1. And you see that thing all the time, like, who had that ticket?
It was his third. This was at least week 5, right? And this was his third catch of the season. Was the first touchdown of the game.
Insane. So he's got those tweets.
Nobody's looking at it.
Right after the fact of being like, who had that? It's like 0.1% or 2% were on the tickets. He's always got those.
That's cool. That's cool.
Different
little
stuff.
Nuggets.
Yeah, exactly. So we'll go through
what's your Twitter?
Thank you. Free plug. At Julian Edlow on Twitter. Very simple. First and last name.
Julian Edlow.
JulianEdlow.
Oh, wow. Okay. See you right here. Cool.
Thanks, man.
Hell yeah. Gotcha.
Yeah. Keep the guys nice to him, though, Jerry, all right?
Yeah, no, of course. So what do you, like, I'm a little confused right now. What exactly do you do at DraftKings?
Okay, so I'm in content.
Are you a gambler?
Yeah, no, I bet.
Oh, okay.
So
cool.
I've been there for about 10 years. Role has changed all over the place a little bit, but I'm in content like you guys are in content. Like I have my podcast,
Nice.
DK and Daily Bets. Rico comes on. We just talk about plays for the day, plays for the weekend.
Nice.
I write up articles on, a breakdown of whatever, best player prop for Dolphins and Ravens on Thursday night. I'll do all of that stuff over there.
That's great.
But the other aspect of it is, giving us that social coverage of just being transparent and trying to give you guys and, all of the listeners to shows like this that are authentic bettors, like a little bit of a peek behind the curtain. So
Okay.
All right, what was the ticket count on some of these touchdown scores? What were the odds? How'd they shift?
Yeah.
Whatever type of information your casual bettor wouldn't know or think of and would say, that's interesting. I want to get that out on Twitter for people to see.
Yeah, I'd love to know last week how many people had Nico Remigio to score a touchdown.
I heard this. Yeah, I think it was you. End of list. I should ask, and I've never asked this question before. I go to our traders with stuff, but I've never asked specifically how many people bet this. It's usually handle 1%, 2%.
Gotcha.
I could ask that, and they legit might come back to me with 1. Well, that won't be true because you guys have this podcast, and I'm sure it's popular.
Yeah,
and some listeners put it in.
Yeah, true,
but
true.
at the time that you submitted your bet, I bet you were person number one to wager on that.
Definitely the highest amount, I would say. Also,
That's funny.
he probably had the highest amount.
I don't doubt that,
without a doubt, on that. Yeah, but Nico Remigio, so that's how it goes. All right, we go through the primetime games. Jerry usually likes, in terms of strategy for touchdown scores, his thing is usually a guy who didn't score last week. I like a team, I'm pretty simple. I like a team that's going to score a lot, and I get a lot of opportunities. That's where I'm kind of going this week with my best bet. What is your strategy in terms of where you're at? Are you looking at a guy who didn't score last week, and he's kind of coming back? Are you looking at a guy who's getting a ton of targets that's talked about with a better price? Overall, what are you kind of looking at in terms of touchdowns?
Yeah, and touchdown betting has become this huge
100x,
thing. Like
yeah.
I'm looking at our most bet props right now on DraftKings, and I'm down 20, 30 bets right now, and I haven't even gotten to a yardage prop. All of them are, here we go. A Derrick Henry prop is number 50 or so. Everything above
Wow.
that is touchdown score props, which is crazy how these touchdown handles
Jeez.
dominate. I'm more of a yardage or receptions prop better. So my formula for that, I try to tie into touchdown betting, which doesn't lead to, I don't even remember the name of Jerry's guys. It doesn't spit out many of those guys and taking the bombs, but I'll take a favorite that I believe in the game with a high total and go to that rushing prop. So Monday night, for example, I thought Pacheco, who was 48.5 yards, got bet into the low 50s by the time that closed, was in a good spot. He had gone over, slow start, but he got over 50 the last couple of weeks, and he got there before he got hurt. I think he finished 58 and then got hurt in the game, cashed the over. But I'll look to kind of tie that in, and sometimes I'll go with that touchdown narrative, because you're looking at a guy so here's the 3 most bet touchdown scorers. We're recording on Wednesday afternoon. Here's the 3 most bet touchdown scorers on DraftKings this week. Derrick Henry, minus 230. Jahmyr Gibbs, which is crazy because when we were talking earlier, Rico, it was Gibbs.
Yep.
Henry has passed Gibbs because that's Thursday night. Gibbs, minus 210. Christian McCaffrey, minus 230. Those have to be tied into parlays, I would imagine, because the ticket count includes that. So
is there a way to separate it in terms of just solo tickets or parlays?
I would have to ask a trader about
Okay.
that and see if they could do it. I don't know if that's a lot of legwork or not, to be honest.
You're
but
right. It makes, you're going to put the parlay. They probably put Ravens money line and Henry.
So that's what I'm saying. So
touchdowns.
when I bet touchdowns, and it's one of these favorites, I am interested in Henry against that Miami defense, which somehow held Bijan in check last week, but they've been a disgrace the rest of the season. So this is the Ravens bounce back spot. So I'm interested in something like Ravens money line with a Derrick Henry, and Derrick Henry on we don't have to go full yards on him because we're building a parlay here, but let me see. His rushing yards in the game is right around 90. So you could buy him down to 70 or 80 and put that in with a touchdown and Ravens money line, and just, it's not going to be a huge plus number, but that's all extremely correlated.
See, I like doing the negative correlation.
So that's become even more and more popular, and that is a sharp angle. A lot of people will take a
touchdown score and then an under.
Jameson Williams on the Lions is a popular guy to kind of do that with, because he catches, he might have 1 catch for 70 yards. So you'll take under 2.5 receptions and over 70 yards and a touchdown on Jameson Williams, and taking that combination. You're rooting for a tight window, obviously, but if you get that big play and then nothing the rest of the way, you're getting a big payout.
Exactly.
All right, so Thursday night, Baltimore at Miami. Could be in for a high-scoring matchup. Harbaugh and McDaniel have faced off twice as head coaches, combining for 155 points. Baltimore did score 94 of those points, but still pretty respectable. So my quick math, 155 minus 94 is... 61?
61, yeah.
So then Miami did score 30 plus in both of those, right? By average? Am I crazy? Yeah.
I don't, you sent me that number in your notes before we went. I was like, is that accurate? That is a ton of points.
Yeah.
Wait, say that again, Rico. Say that stat again.
McDaniel and Harbaugh have faced off twice as head coaches, combining for 155 points. Baltimore scored 94 of those points. Let's fact check.
Oh, yeah. All right. I got the scores in front of me here. The last 2 have been barn burners. So New Year's Eve of 2023, 56-19 Ravens in Baltimore. They're going back a little ways, but yeah, 56-19 Ravens, New Year's Eve of 2023. And then September of 2022, the Dolphins won in Baltimore 42-38.
Jeez. Wow.
Points.
Yeah.
Both teams, the defenses are bad. Both teams are in the top 5 for most TDs allowed. McDaniel and the Dolphins 0-4 on Thursday nights. On short rest, McDaniel's teams are 0-5, allowing 29.2 points per game. So if you're looking at props here, it probably favors the Ravens with Lamar back. We talked about Derrick Henry with that huge minus sign. If you're looking at him, I don't think you could bet the 230. I know it's the most ticket. But Derrick Henry, 2+ TDs. Plus 225. Miami still allows the most rush yards per game at 159.3. Opposing running backs are averaging 87 yards per game. You obviously got Lamar back. I worry about this one. He's at plus 160, like around the goal line. Do they want to let him get banged up?
Yeah.
That's
I
a
don't
concern.
know about that. Miami has
been
allowed, rushing TDs to opposing quarterbacks in 3 games this season, including 2-score performance to Daniel Jones. Lamar scored a TD in 4 games last season, and the running back scored alongside him in all 4. So if you're looking at parlay,
you can argue it both ways on Jackson. It's like you want to protect him coming back from injury, but they also don't have room for error.
No.
Like you kind of got to just go at this point if you're Baltimore and get winning.
Rashad Bateman plus 300, Malik Washington plus 330, Jalen Waddle plus 140. I know last week was tight end week. I like Mark Andrews plus 165. Old reliable for Baltimore. Just give me Mark Andrews plus 165. Julian, what bet are you looking at in terms of this one?
So again, I like a correlated Henry parlay, but that seems like kind of a cheap shot to give out. I'll tell you this. You mentioned Waddle at plus 140. Baltimore ranks, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. They're bottom 5 in terms of touchdowns allowed to wide receivers, almost 1.5 per game. No Tyreek. Tua came to life a little bit, obviously, in that Atlanta game and was throwing touchdowns. So I don't mind Waddle at plus 140 in this game if you go in plus money.
I also don't think, I think Miami for a little while looked like they were going to quit. They're weird because they're up and down. Like, I don't think they've quit on McDaniel, weirdly.
Last week sure didn't look like they have.
They played tight in that Baltimore game when there was like, well, I'm sorry, the Buffalo game when it looked like he was definitely going to get fired. I don't know. I don't think this team's quit. I kind of feels like the whole world's on the Ravens because it's so easy. Like, I kind of like Miami to fight.
90% of the money, like we talked about on Pick Central, 90% of the money in this game is Baltimore money.
Yeah, I kind of like Miami to fight here. Which way are you going, Jerry?
I'm going to go with, he's plus 115. He hasn't scored, I believe, since week 1. Zay Flowers, plus 115. I look at it like that line should be plus 160, plus 190, somewhere around there for a guy who hasn't scored since week 1. But he's due, and that line tells you he's due. So I'm going to go with him, plus 115, I believe it is right now. I like him to get in the end zone, start getting going on offense a little bit with Lamar back.
Okay. We'll get into Sunday Night Football, but Jerry, state of the Steelers, or, if you can trust to bet on a touchdown for this game.
The offense isn't the problem with the Steelers.
Yeah, Rodgers is playing well.
The defense is a major, major problem. I mean, they ranked dead last against the pass. In yards giving up per game, I think they're bottom 3, maybe bottom 2 in the league. They give up a lot of yards. They give up a lot of points. They give up a lot of first downs. I mean, every game this season they've given up, I believe, 20 plus first downs in a game, each of those games. But I go back to Jalen Warren to score. I haven't looked at the odds yet. I don't even know if they came out on DK.
They're still waiting.
But he hasn't had a rushing touchdown since last year. They're running the ball pretty good in these games. They just stop running the ball because, in these losses they're starting to trail from behind, by a touchdown or 10-point deficit, and they're forced to throw. But if they can stick with the run, I like him to score.
Yeah, I mean, I'm curious to see what Jonathan Taylor's number in this game is, because it's going to be right up there with the Derrick Henrys of the world. Dude's on pace for 30 touchdowns this season if you include the receiving, which is insane.
And that's where it gets crazy with him. If you're going to put him at what, minus 340 to score a touchdown, or 300 or 270, as high as that gets, that then lowers the 2 touchdowns. It lowers the 3 touchdowns. Like,
everything.
Taylor's kind of become...
I think he has 3 touchdowns in half his game.
I know, it's either that or nothing.
It's unbettable. It's unbettable.
It's unbettable. That's what we say.
No, it's not. It's not a good bet. So Tyler Warren's the guy that I wrote down, Jerry. So we're on the same page there. Pittsburgh, as you know, you're a Steelers guy. Pittsburgh against the tight ends is just brutal. Let me bring up. I think
Kraft went obviously.
Yeah, the Bengals number, and we'll get to that. But the Bengals against tight ends have been awful. Steelers are next. They're giving up 0.86 touchdowns a game to tight ends. So, what is that? 5 out of 6 games, an opposing tight end is scoring, and Warren's been one of the best.
Yeah. All right. Sunday Night Football, Seattle at Washington. Darnold and the Seahawks are 2-0 in primetime this season, winning both by 1 possession. Under Mike McDonald, Seattle is 5-1 straight up when traveling out east. Darnold has made 5 starts off extended rest. His teams averaged 27.4 points per game in those spots. You can look at Jeremy McNichols. They were playing from behind all game, but McNichols actually led the Commanders in targets and receiving yards last week. That bodes well for the matchup against the Seahawks, who have allowed the most touchdowns to opposing running back twos in the league, half of which have come through the air. A.J. Barner, all these odds are still kind of being determined for Sunday night. Barner has quietly become a stud for the Seahawks offense. He is tied for the team lead in both touchdowns and red zone targets. Now he faces a Commanders defense that has allowed the most TDs to opposing tight ends, including 3 in their last 2 games. That's the guy I'm going to take. I'm going to take Barner. I think too much, emphasis on tight ends last week. Give me the tight ends this week. Cooper Kupp, while Jackson Smith and Jigba deservedly gotten all the shine, Cooper Kupp hasn't been too bad himself. Now he faces a defense that has allowed 7th most TDs to opposing wide receiver twos. And runs man coverage at the 6th highest rate in the league. Kupp has by far been Seattle's most efficient receiver against man when targeted this season. I like Barner. Julian, which way are you going?
Yeah, this is the game I would say I had the toughest time with. So Washington's run defense has been really bad, but more so on the road. And now they're coming back home after that Chiefs game. I like Seattle as the side here, and I don't like many NFL sides. Mike McDonald's 10-1 on the road as head coach of the Seahawks. That used to be the 12th man, like you're afraid to come to Seattle. They're now road warriors. So I kind of like him going on the road here. I'll probably go to the Seattle backfield here, which you can go different ways. Let me look up who's getting those touchdowns because they have kind of
Charbonnet. They've been taken out.
Charbonnet was unbelievable at UCLA. I love Charbonnet.
Yeah. I mean, it seems like Kenneth Walker will get him down there, and then Charbonnet.
And then they swap it out, right? So Charbonnet's got 5 rushing touchdowns on the season. He had 2. The last game against Houston. I like that they're off the bye. I would, that's not going to be a great price, but that's where I'm leaning there.
Okay. Jerry, what do you like?
Yeah, I don't have the odds yet, but I'm going to take Zach Ertz to score a touchdown against Seattle. I know Seattle's rush D's been really, really good. That defensive line is pretty damn good. Probably the best in the NFL right now. I think Jaden Daniels is going to have to get that ball out fast. Maybe something quick near the goal line to Zach Ertz.
All right, Monday Night Football to close it out. Arizona at Dallas. Dallas is an interesting team because, if they get that Packers win, and I don't know, they'd be floating. The NFC's really deep, but I just think it's better when Dallas is in the mix. And maybe it's this documentary. I know I'm a Giants fan, but maybe it's this documentary. And Jerry, you've seen how much he wants it, and how much more those games matter and those throwbacks to the documentary. And it'd be fun to have them just get one more run.
If they had they don't even have to have a great. If they had a
competent defense,
top 20 defense or top 18 defense, they'd be winning some of these games, dude.
I know, and Dak is really good. So since the start of the 2020 season, Dak is 13-0 straight up as a favorite at night, winning by an average of 18.3 points per game. But Kyler Murray he's Texas. He likes Texas. He's from Texas. He doesn't do so well on Monday Night Football, though. Monday Night Football starts, his teams are averaging 14 points per game. That's over 3 starts. But Kyler Murray, Texas high school football legend between high school, college, and the NFL. He has never lost at AT&T Stadium with a perfect 9-0 record.
Holy shit. Wow.
Yeah.
That's a crazy stat.
Jake Ferguson, his Cardinals defense has
a lot
allowed
of high school games in there, though.
Yeah. That's fine.
Kyler Murray probably was a pretty good high school player.
Still accurate that he hasn't lost there. Cardinals defense has allowed TDs to opposing tight ends in 3 of their last 4, with the exception coming against a brutal Titans offense where both tight ends still far exceeded their yardage total. Ferguson was held quiet against the tough Broncos defense, but he looked to bounce back against softer Arizona team that runs zone coverage at the 12th highest rate. They run a bunch of cover 3 where Ferguson has scored 3 of his 6 TDs this season. So we talked about the tight ends. I'm going to kind of keep it straight across the board. Give me Ferguson. I also like Pickens as well. I know the odds aren't out. I was on him in the game of the week parlay. Shout out DraftKings with an unbelievable thing. Hoping to hit that on the wheel this week. If I don't, mark your words, I will not smash my phone like a child and then complain to everybody else around it. Marvin Harrison, that's a deep cut. I don't know if Julian caught that one. We'll touch that off camera. Marvin Harrison plus 120. Cowboys defense has allowed 9 TDs to opposing wide receiver ones this season. It's also hard not to look at his 2+ TDs at 750, considering this defense has allowed a receiver to score 2+ TDs in 4 games already. So I might just fire all the way on Monday with this. I like Ferguson, I like Pickens, and I also like Harrison at the 250, the 2 TDs plus 750. A lot of opportunity in Dallas games. Which way you like?
Yeah, interestingly, going with the Dallas wide receivers, who I think will have good games. Cardinals have allowed the second fewest, or tied with the Texans for the second fewest touchdowns to receivers this season. I don't know if I totally buy into that. We're going to a game in Dallas with a 54.5 total. Like, this is probably where that comes back a little bit. But Marvin Harrison plus 120 is the guy that I wrote down. You want to go to the opposite end of that list. The Dallas Cowboys defense, who we know is pretty much a fade every week, allowing by a wide margin the most receiving touchdowns to wide receivers, 1.88 per game.
Wow.
Almost 2 receiving touchdowns to opposing receivers per game. You got to think this is a spot where Marvin Harrison, who has heard it a lot this year, and rightfully so at plenty of times, can get it together. And if Dallas, who's the public favorite in this game, can be scoring points like they have been, Kyler Murray's working back against a bad Dallas defense indoors on the road. Like, that's a good spot to get Marvin Harrison a late one, to try and play catch up too. So
you said Arizona has allowed the fewest passing touchdowns?
No, tied with the Texans, the second fewest receiving touchdowns to wide receivers.
Okay.
So there still could be, I can look up the passing right now. They still could be throwing it into tight ends.
Fair,
or
but that also
backs.
makes me want to look at Williams for 2. Because I feel like he's going to be a minus sign for just 1.
Oh, Javonte Williams?
Yeah.
Yeah, Javante's like minus 170 to score.
I would look at him for 2 TDs.
Didn't he say receiving, though?
Well,
yeah, they allow the fewest. So it feels Arizona's defense is still allowing touchdowns on the ground, right? Arizona's not lighting up defense.
Yeah,
so let me see. I got to sift through the numbers here.
You're right, Jerry. That was good. That was a good catch to be like,
so
where are you going with this?
Arizona is, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 8th best in terms of passing touchdowns. 1.14 passing touchdowns allowed per game. So that tells me if we go to the running backs here, which we're about to look at, rushing touchdowns. Yeah, the Cardinals are near the bottom, almost a rushing touchdown per game. Let me see this though. Let me see receiving touchdowns to running backs. Maybe.
Does he get any passes out the back? He gets here and there. I don't think a ton, but
yeah, not too, like 0.3 there. So like every 3 games they give up a receiving touchdown to a running back.
I like him for 2 on the ground. I do think
I'm gonna take Kyler Murray to score a touchdown.
You like that Texas nugget, huh?
Yeah, he's due. He's due for a rushing touchdown.
Yeah.
I'm going to take him.
A lot of guys in the cave liked him like early when he had plus signs early in the year, and then that's since faded.
Like big plus signs.
Big, yeah. That's where it goes. All right, best bet. It's not, I don't think it's available yet. If you have it in front of you, you can pull it up. I had the sheet kind of in front of me, but I think the Rams are going to score 1 million. I like, and tight end, Tyler Higbee. My guy from Western Kentucky, give me Tyler Higbee to score that touchdown. What would be your best bet?
So I'm looking, and I can't even. Okay, so we don't have yards yet on the Bears because I'm doing what I talked about off the top of the show here. DeAndre Swift is minus 160. I don't want to come in here and give out a minus 160, so I'm going to try to get it to even money with like 50, 60 plus rush yards to go with a touchdown for DeAndre Swift. The Bengals.
160 is not horrible though. Like we throw,
if you want to play it straight, play it straight.
Throw the 3 legs together.
I don't mind that. It's a good parlay piece. If you want to play it solo and get closer to even money, wait for the yardage to come out. But Swift has scored in 5 straight games, and the Bengals. Swift is probably a good yardage bet if you want to just go that route as well. Yards per carry, the Bengals are giving up 5.26 yards per carry. Yards per game to the running back position, the Bengals are dead last by more than 13 yards. They're giving up 132 rushing yards per game just to running backs, the Bengals. So give me Swift to eat here. And if we got this Flacco injury news too, if it's not going to be Flacco, you're going to have the Bears maybe playing from ahead against Jake Browning against this Bengals defense. This could be a big game for Swift, again, who has now scored in 5 straight games.
Okay. Jerry, what do you got?
Ooh, I'm torn this week. Not going to give out a bomb, but I'm going to go with TJ Hawkinson to score a touchdown this week against the Lions.
Revenge
Lions,
game.
Yep.
Yeah, still hurting the secondary, little revenge spot. Still some great juice at plus 310. I'm going to take him to score one this week. You know, JJ McCarthy coming back, see what he can do. I don't know. I feel like that game might be a little closer than we think.
Okay. So tight end. So Higbee, Swift, and Hawkinson, if you want to do a 3-leg or kind of switch out the 2s. You can do different things like that. All this, the availability on the DK network in terms of splits, you go right on. It's right in front of you. There's always stuff with gamblers. It's like, oh, where can I find it? Or this is accurate of what's coming in with DraftKings.
Yep.
Is that new?
No, this is why I'm here today. To like tell this to people, you guys, your viewers, your listeners. Like DK Network, we have had up for a while now. We kind of revamped the whole thing. All the betting splits for all the major sports. Like you want to look at a game. I'm looking at whatever. Let me pull up Ravens Dolphins Thursday night football right now. Miami plus 7.5 only has literally 10% of the money. 90% of that spread money.
Where do I see that?
Baltimore. So
right on it, dude. It's super easy to.
So yeah, DK Network
handle bets. It's right on there.
Okay, I hit that little.
But you get the frustration, that years like. For years, or when people throw things out, it's the handle and the money, and it seems like it's coming from a million different areas. Or
look
somebody
at this.
says
The total
is via DraftKings. This is what we're looking at, and that's why it's great. You're
this
right.
Is all straight
it was
from
hard
DraftKings.
to find for a little while.
It's updated every 10 minutes or so.
Yep.
It's
so
every sport, every
71%
game.
of people bet the under in this game, 51.5. Is that accurate?
Correct. For 87% of the dollars have come in on under, which goes
Wow.
directly against Rico's trend off the top of the show. Points,
kind of like the over in that game.
So the splits are there. That's one thing. Again, just go to DK Network. It's our betting splits page. If you just Google DK Network betting splits, this will come up for you. And then you can toggle around with NFL, next 7 days, today, MLB, NBA, whatever you want. The other page is DK Network player props page. You can go to, and this isn't as in-depth as the splits, but again, on Twitter, like Thursday Night Football, I'll give out the splits on all the player props. Like Derrick Henry over 89.5 yards is probably going to be, 90% of the money over, just guessing, but I'll have that stuff on game day if you want to follow me on Twitter. But just in terms of most bet props, that is there, the DK Network player props page. It's square parlay pieces right now. Again, this is just the most bet props in any sport, and you can toggle through it. Derrick Henry, Jahmyr Gibbs, Christian McCaffrey, Bijan Robinson, Jamar Chase, anytime touchdown scores are the 5 most bet player props for NFL Week 9 right now on DK Sportsbook. But yeah, that's all there. And again, like if you guys want, anybody listening like wants a specific split or number or nugget, like tweet me, DM me. I can ask people. We can put it out.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's articles on here as well. It's the stuff. Yeah, it's very accessible. I feel like a lot of people don't.
Yeah,
it's there.
Yeah, it's a content page where a DK Network is content. I have my podcast, I have my articles, and we have that like you guys have that. But obviously, Barstool and DraftKings are partnered, so might as well work together here. And then the split stuff is really like the unknown. Like I feel like we do our best to share that, but I feel like people don't know that's there and they want to look at it. Like,
well, like I said, it got
Jerry's
a little
ears
hairy.
just pop up. He's like, I want to look at that. When we were on Pick Central earlier, Marty and Hubs, they're like, oh, you can just get that for free every day. I'm like, yep, DraftKings Network, you go find it.
Yeah. So here, here's one tonight too. You look at it. So the 11% Memphis Phoenix, 11% of bets are on the under 241.5, but 48% of the money is on.
So these are what you see as a sharper bet. Somebody has come in, everybody, the public's betting the over, 9 out of 10 people, right? but somebody has come in and evened the, that's what you want as I'm not a trader or working behind the book, but that's what you want as a sports book to balance the dollars. And they have that in that game with that total, which again, the ticket count doesn't matter to the bottom number, right? You just want to try and even that handle. But when you see that, that's just what should trigger if you're going to try and use betting splits to help you as a bettor. Those are the ones where your eyes should pop a little bit.
Yeah, same thing. So Portland -3.5 against the Jazz tonight. 39% of the bets, only 39% of the bets are on it, but 59% of the handle. So that tells
kind of
you
like Portland tonight.
that it's lower.
I bet them against the Lakers. They got there the other night. The Jazz are a bounce away from being 3-0. Lowest NBA win total in 10 years, and they're a bounce away from being 3-0.
Crazy. Yeah, so accessible stuff, awesome. So we'll keep you in the loop in terms of stuff like that. Follow Julian on that podcast. Jerry's got an appearance booked down the road now.
Jerry and I follow each other on Twitter now. Jerry, I'll DM you. We'll figure something out. We'll have a good time.
Get ready to Google some names when Jerry brings them up for touchdown scores.
I'll be ready. Jerry's gonna have to be a late in the week guy. Jerry's gonna have to be a Friday guy, so we got everything on the board. And he can go, dig through the bowels of wherever he's looking and find his names.
You know what I'm going to bring back for Rico? We used to do it last year. I put in a lot of 6-leg touchdown scores, and it's usually 3 for 6 or 4 for 6. I'm just going to do the bring it back to 4 touchdowns, my 4 favorite for the week, and just put it on the DK book.
Good luck. I hope you win.
I'm always right there. I feel like.
That's and also we don't still have the ghost leg that we were running at DK was huge for a while, and I don't know if we're gonna continue to run that.
That was a great promo.
That's
awesome.
a big time promo. If you miss one, you just wipe that one out. So that comes in handy with what you're talking about.
Yeah, but Game of the Week is a great promo, obviously.
But we always got great.
Yeah, they have great
King
promos.
of the Court. No, there's a
King of the Court's a really fun one, and it's pretty cool to see and I'm coming at you as somebody that's been on some of our commercials before on big networks. Seeing those King of the Courts on the NBA on NBC now on Tuesday nights is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Those are serious, real deal, all eyes on King of the Court.
Yeah,
and then this thing is
we
growing.
work with lunatics too, so to speak, so that you got a guy like Quiggs doing 2 teams to score in the first minute. Round robin
That's
in
an
the NBA.
interesting.
Yeah, it turned out pretty well for Big Cat the other night. You
What
could
did he
do I think he hit for about 90 grand.
On what?
A round robin of almost every, what did he do, Jerry? I think it was every game in the NBA, both teams to score in the first minute. And he needed 5 or 6 to be profitable. I think he hit 8 or 9.
Wow.
So
that's I haven't
you can look
that
at you can look at that with passing touchdowns. You could do he does halftime ties in the NCAA tournament round robins. There's a lot of stuff to dive through with DraftKings. So
the Cheesecake Factory of sports betting menus is what I've long called it during my days at DraftKings Sportsbook.
Yeah, lots of something for everybody. So we'll be there. We'll catch you next week with House Call.
Love it. See you guys next week.
Thanks
Julian.
Cool.